Welcome to the very first episode of the FM Realty Report. I'm Roman Aleksanyan, a licensed real estate salesperson here in Syracuse, New York. And joining me is my broker and co-host, Don Radke. We're excited to launch this podcast as your go-to source for everything real estate and local economy right here in central New York. Whether you're a buyer, seller, landlord, tenant, investor, or just someone curious about what's happening in the market, we're here to bring you the latest updates, insights, and interviews with the people shaping our community. This is our pilot episode, so we'll be sharing who we are, why we started this, and what you can expect each week on the show. Let's dive in. Hello, Don.
Hey, Roman, how you doing?
Good. Tell us about yourself.
Roman, this is really going to be exciting, and I think what we're going to be offering the community is something of real value. I've been in the real estate business. I'm somewhat embarrassed to say it. People think I'm old, but 49 years is my 49th year in the business, and I love the business. It's a wonderful, wonderful industry. We're in a time now where it's crucial. Housing is everybody's number one issue. For me, I've been in this housing business, I said, for a long time. I'm currently a member of the Syracuse Housing Strategies Committee, which is formed specifically to try to deal with some of the housing issues that we have here in the city and try to deal with availability, try to deal with affordability. I sat on the City of Syracuse Landmark Preservation Board for 30 years, recently retired. Enough is enough, 30 years. I'm very active on both the local, state, and national level. I currently sit on the Syracuse Association of Realtors Board of Directors. I'm the president-elect. I've served in the past as a regional vice president of our state association. I've been on the board of managers, or the board of directors, rather, of both the state association and national association. I've been around. I'm involved in my community. I'm on the board of Focus Greater Syracuse, a citizen advocacy group. I'm on the board of directors of Preservation Association of Central New York, dealing with preservation issues. And I feel it's a responsibility of a realtor to be involved in the community, and that's what we try to do. So with this podcast, I think we're going to be able to use our collective skills and our collective experiences to bring to the community some real important information.
I think so too. I think with many years of your experience, the number of hats you wear and different boards you've attended and input your knowledge has made changes in Syracuse.
Yeah. On one hand, I can remember something my father said to me a long, long, long time ago. He said, Don, he said, you really open your mouth and speak a lot. That was from my youth.
Yeah.
He said, put it to good use, though.
Mm-hmm.
Put it to good use. Do something for your community. There's always going to be challenges. Be part of the solution. And I've tried to take that seriously, and I think I have. Interestingly enough, we're in a time now where technology has changed our industry.
Mm-hmm.
It'll continue to change our industry. When I talk about technology changing our industry, that's not even talking about the biggest change that's now started is AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be a game changer. And I think one of the real things that we can accomplish here in this podcast, among educating about what's going on in our community, is to teach our consumers what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
When they hire somebody to sell their house or buy a home or rent an apartment or get an investment property, there's things that these consumers need to know that they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hurt them. It's going to cost them money.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one of the real benefits that we can bring to the table.
I'm looking forward to doing that. My real estate involvement started more in the construction industry.
Right.
I started in Boston in 2002 or 2003, and it opened my eyes in real estate and how it first started with the love of building something with my own hands and seeing how it changes people's lives and the joy it brings to them when they see what they originally purchased and what they're walking into, and you see the joy in their eyes. From there, it grew into curiosity of, being more involved in real estate outside of just construction. So I've been a realtor now for 8 years, and many of those years been with you, so thank you for that.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
And Don, you were my ethics teacher when I went through school. So,
Okay.
and I'm glad that I end up with you. But over the years that I was as a realtor and in construction, I got to learn the industry and how it develops and changes from not just the real estate point of view, but also from the construction point of view, the costs, the breakdowns, and majority of my clients have been investors. So what I have to bring to the table is from the construction side, from changes in economics, working with investors and how they open up my eyes. I learn a lot from them. They're businessmen and women who always build their portfolios. And when they talk about business, my ears are open.
Well, I've seen and witnessed that firsthand, Roman. And one of the real joys of having you affiliated with me here at FM Realty Group is not only your construction experience and not only what that brings to the table, which is invaluable, but it's also you're the example of the kind of realtor that we need today and going into the future. Not only your knowledge of construction, your knowledge of investors, but your empathy and your ability to communicate with consumers. And I've seen that firsthand. There's also the aspect you push yourself. You push yourself learning the technology. You push me to help me learn the technology. And that's all important in today's world. There's going to be a time where it's recommended that you go to some AI source and get some information and then contact a realtor. I don't know if that's really going to happen. Real estate is always local. Mm-hmm. Real estate is a relationship. So there's some of us that have some fears about AI, yet on the other side of the coin, we've all seen what AI can bring. Mm-hmm. And to me, I think it's a game changer. Your experience and your knowledge in these fields is what's going to make this work.
Thank you for the kind words, Don. I am also fortunate to be with you because your knowledge is something I don't have, or your experience, and I'm your young Jedi.
Well,
here to learn. Well, but technology, you're right, is growing very fast.
Just don't call me Yodel.
Yeah. And AI is something that we will no longer be able to avoid or ignore because it's in so much in our lives now. I use it myself,
right?
And it has become...
We all use it. It's been around for 40 years.
Yeah.
Now it's really here.
Yeah, I think the last 4 or 5 years, it was really developing super fast. And as soon as I learned new tricks and knowledge about AI, it already has gone to the next level. And at this point, it is such a good tool for me where when I'm driving and I'm talking to somebody through Bluetooth on the phone, trying to be safe, hands-free, I can talk to AI in the same way while it's doing research for me.
Right.
It's as if I am having a conversation with another person on the other line who has instant access to the information without me having to type it in.
And that, to me, is one of the great things about AI in the real estate business. AI learns, AI grows, but when AI is prompted and spoken to by somebody with expertise, the questions that are asked, the dialogue that goes back and forth, produces a product that wouldn't have existed before.
That's correct.
And that, to me, is going to be very powerful for consumer. Let's face it. Let's talk a little broader. We're in Syracuse, New York. Everybody has heard, I hope, that this company called Micron is coming. $100 billion investment, the largest private investment in the history of the United States to date. What's that going to mean? What's that really going to mean? I think as we go forward, it's going to trickle down into so many ways in our community. Let's look at the STEAM school, the science, technology, engineering, arts, and math that's being built downtown. That's going to be a city-owned school, going to be open to students throughout the county. When it gets to full capacity in 4 to 5 years, it's going to be 1,000 students. Micron is building a clean room to train its future workers. Where do you think AI is going to be in that? It's going to be huge. And, you talk about Micron, and then you talk about the STEAM school. The STEAM school is not only going to be preparing people for jobs at Micron, there's even a program there that's going to for those of my grandkids especially, I told my grandson about this. He went crazy. There's going to be a video game design program at the STEAM school in Syracuse that students are going to start learning next year.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting time to be in Syracuse, and we could tick off the STEAM school, Micron, the redevelopment of Shoppingtown, redevelopment of the Great Northern Mall. The list goes on and on and on. I-81, it's endless. And it's all here in central New York.
Yes, and we'll cover those things. Just want to make a quick note to realtors and consumers. Because the advancement of AI, there's also negatives with it.
Yep.
So please be careful when you see videos that are AI generated, that is not real. Please, if you're a realtor, you use AI tools, review the content before you send it.
Yep.
Especially when you're sending an email. I've received emails that were generated by AI.
I think this is a beautiful topic for a future podcast.
We will.
Just for consumers and for our colleagues on how and what, where.
And I just can't say it enough. I might mention this on multiple episodes, but I just want to always highlight this, because how good AI is, and you can be easily fooled by videos, by content that's created on social media. So just check, review, make sure it is what it is. And as a realtor, check what AI has generated for you. Just please read through it before you send it. I've received emails where at the end AI says, how do you like this? Is there anything else I can generate for you or create? And that's in my email.
Right. And that's silliness.
Yeah.
And we have to be careful. We have to make sure that the consumer understands that as realtors, we subscribe to our code of ethics. And our code of ethics requires us to be honest in all of our advertising and all of our marketing. And if we're not responsible and we're not cautious, it's the consumer that could get hurt. And among many other things, we'll be talking about this through the course of our podcast. But the reality is, even though the Code of Ethics of the National Association of Realtors is 112 or 13 years old, it's still just as relevant today as it has always been. And AI is just going to be another test.
Yeah. Anything else you want to highlight in this episode?
I'm excited as heck to be doing this. This is going to be great. And I think our success is going to be based on, are we bringing you, the consumer, and you, the member of our Central New York community, wherever you sit as a buyer, landlord, tenant, investor, or just day-to-day citizen, are we going to be bringing you content that you're going to find useful and valuable? And I'm sure we will.
Great. Well, on this note, thanks for tuning in to this very first episode of the FM Realty Report. We're looking forward to bringing you weekly updates on the real estate market, key changes in the local economy, and conversations with the people making it all happen here in Syracuse. You can reach us on social media. If you have any real estate needs, please reach out to Don Radke or myself, Roman Aleksanyan, at FM Realty Group. And this is this week's FM Realty Report.
Tune into our next episode where Roman and I are going to talk about all the big projects that are going on, the economic impact that it's going to have in our community. It's going to be exciting.